Good morning. It's February the 17th, 2017. Oh, this is day number 8 in week number 3 for CISG113, Section 1, Information Security and Privacy. So let's get started. Now, I've just given you a reminder on what you have to do to submit your first set of learning artifacts for learning contract number 1 by this weekend. And you also need to individually present your work next week, either on Tuesday, day number 9, February the 21st, or Friday, day number 10, February the 24th. Okay? So make sure you sign up for your presentation slot because that is part of your in-class sharing. Now remember, the in-class sharing will earn you a maximum of 20 semester point a lot, okay? And what you need to do is four times the in-class sharing. And when you do something like this, it's counted as one time, okay? So it's counted as one time. One time means what? One time means what? 4 points, okay? You need to do 5 times the in-class sharing throughout the semester. If you do 1 time, you got 4 points. If you do 5 times, you got 20 points. So this is the way for you to earn your score along the semester, the easiest way, all right? So another thing that is very important for you to earn another part of the semester score is your learn-to-learn score. Learn-to-learn score is based on at least 5 important journals you completed and 5 important blogs you developed from each of the journals you completed. Okay, do not forget that the 5 journals, for each of the journals you did, I'll give you 1 semester point, and for each of the blog you developed from that journal, I will give you 2 semester points. All together is 15 semester points. All these journals and blogs must be ready before the last day of the semester, okay, because I need to give you a score. So these are important part of your semester scoring. Beside the learning contract artifacts you're going to submit it for the first set by this weekend, for the second set I guess by week number 7, and for the last set is I guess by week number 10 or something like this. So, and then go for the portfolio. So, okay, let me double check how many of you have already signed up for your slot here. Good, I got 2 more. So for the other students, would you please make sure you sign us up? We can accommodate a maximum of 14 per class, okay, with 5 minutes each. And you got to be punctual, all right? Because 5 minutes each with 14 students, it's 17 minutes, 70. And we just have 75 minutes per class, okay? So, having said that, I think I remind you, it's very important that you submit your learning artifact for each learning contract, otherwise you will not be able to earn the score proportions to that, and you have 10 semester points per contract. So having said this, let's come back to this week's important topic. Now let me walk you through one more time. Week number 1, we give you the introductions of what is information security and what is privacy. We use a very interesting news documentary to demonstrate to you these 2 topics are very relevant to our daily living. Week number 2, we introduced you to information technologies and knowledge society. If you've already gone through this, you understand that in today's work, the idea of technology, particularly those related to information, is undeniable. And we're living in a world that actually it's not a question now. We need to live on knowledge, and we need to work based on how much knowledge we have. Have you heard about a company which is a car manufacturer called Tesla? Tesla is a company which is very famous for producing automobile, which is based on the electric energy. That means they are not going to use fuel, okay? And if you ever have a chance to visit the manufacturing plant of this company, you understand that, oh, the manufacturing plant is so big, bigger, close to the size of a cow, and they produce car based on robots. And all the manufacturing plants, you can only find about close to 150 workers, or better say people that manage the robots. Okay? And the knowledge is very important. And manual work is no longer the theme, the mainstream of this century. So, and then week number 3, we introduced to you, which is last week, the ideas of ethics, social responsibility, which is corporate social responsibility. And then we also introduced to you the very important part of digital divide, and we showed you demonstrations of how people from college folk, students, and teachers alike could get involved into doing the work called Bridge the Digital Divide Gap. And then all of the 3 weeks, including this last week, 4th week, are done on the theme of inquiry-based learning. We introduced to you the idea of questioning into something. In particular, we introduced to you the very important thinking skills of observations, interpretations, and applications. And indeed, your journal has to be written following this thinking. Now, last class, some student asked me, do I have a sample of the journal for you? Now, I did give you samples, but I did not give you the sample as if you can follow 100% of the samples like this. Because in the last semester, when I give them a sample, every student worked based on what they could understand from the sample. And they negotiate to me, this is what you want us. No, actually, I just want you to know that you have all the ability to demonstrate your thinking rather than just copying the patterns of other students, because you need to exercise ingenuity. Part of the reasons I did not give you full sample from the example of other students' work, other than give you the guideline, is you have to develop your style of expressing yourself. And this is very important exercise in this particular class. All right, so this week we introduced to you a very important context, module number 4, called information literacy, and also competency. Literacy is the state of being something. Competency is the ability to demonstrate that something. So information literacy is a very important lifelong skill. It's also very important in the digital age. Today we also have another word called digital literacy. But I would like to postpone that until after we cover this. And on Tuesday, we'll introduce to you the 5 components of information literacy and some of the essential process of doing that, which include what? You identify something, identify your needs, and then you find the informations, and then you evaluate the informations, and then you apply the informations, and then, most importantly, you acknowledge the information. You do not take it as a whole. So when you come back to this as a summary of last class, we say, okay, you have a lead, you need to access, you need to evaluate, you need to use, and you need to perform some ethical compilations to acknowledge what you learned. And then we also introduced to you the Discover method of information literacy, which includes a number of essential activities for you to perform, particularly studying from producing the artifact of your first learning contract. Now, students ask me, do I need to provide answer to those questions that you would like us to come up with? The answer is no, you do not need to provide answer. You need to generate questions, okay? The question that you provide represents the result of your thinking, the result of your identifications, the result of your finding the information, the result of your evaluating the information, and the result of your using the information. And when you provide references, actually you're demonstrating, you're compiling with the rules of acknowledging the sources of the information. And so today, I would like to walk you through a very important part of this, This is called how do you apply what you learned in our last class in almost any assignment of interest that you're going to be handled. So may I invite you now, if you're not on top of the table, you go to any table and you try to understand the following 3 important lessons that I'm going to walk you through. Okay, clear? Do you need to go to a particular table? All right, so I hope that when we go through this process, okay, everybody will be given time to discuss, so you make sure your attention is on this side, all right? Watch the white screen and see how relevant we are going to introduce to you today to what you're going to complete by the end of this week, and also in any of the assignments you're going to do. All right, so may I have your attention, please? This is called starting your research assignment. Actually, when you produce the artifacts of the first learning contract, you are doing research. Okay, what is meant by research? You search, and you search, and you search again, and you understand, you find questions, and you try to make sense of it according to some requirements. How do you start your research assignment?
Module series. In this module, you will learn the basics about acquiring the information literacy skills needed to deal with the research papers and assignments that will be a big part of your academic career here at Mercy, regardless of your major. First off, what is this information literacy business? Glad you asked. Information literacy is the ability to recognize, locate, use, and attribute valid and credible information sources, including books, journals, magazine and newspaper articles, and an ever-growing variety of multimedia sources. In this module, you will learn the importance of understanding your assignment, choosing a topic that fits the assignment, narrowing or expanding your topic, creating a topic sentence, and determining what kind and how much information you will need. Research assignments can vary depending upon your class and your professor. But let's say you've been assigned a 4 to 6 page research paper requiring 2 outside sources using either the APA or MLA citation styles. What does that mean? Well, it's like this. A research paper or project usually means you need to construct an argument or take a position, make a case for your chosen topic. To support your argument, you'll need to find and use outside sources of information. An outside source is any information that is not included in your course text or class readings. When searching for information to support your argument, it is very important that you select what we call authoritative sources, sources that have credibility and validity. This is where things can get tricky because there is so much information available to you these days, especially on the internet. It's becoming more and more difficult to determine not only what is credible and what is bogus, but even where to start. Not knowing where to go or what to do can become very frustrating very fast, leading to that dreaded modern malady known as information overload and you don't want to go there. Let your librarians help you. Before going any further into this, it's very important you understand the assignment and what your professor expects of you. If you are uncertain or unclear on any part of what's expected here, including how much time you have, get with your prof before pushing on, okay? All right, so we've got this 4 to 6 page paper to deal with. Where do you even start with this beast? A couple of points to consider when getting started. Always try to choose a topic that interests you. Whenever possible, choose a topic that is related to your major. For the purposes of this example, let's say you have chosen the topic of bullying for your paper.
What are you looking at, butthead?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That guy. Okay, we've got to start. We've also got a big and broad topic. What to do? First, let's break it down. Brainstorm ideas on the topic. Throw some ideas in. Don't worry about whether they're good, bad, right, wrong, useful or not, completely ridiculous. Just throw down some thoughts that come to you when you think of bullying. Maybe bullying in the internet. Read about that a lot. Maybe bullying in social media, Facebook, etc. Wait, there's a word for that, isn't there? Yeah, cyberbullying. Okay, making progress. Maybe something on cyberbullying and social media. Sweet. Now what? Remember that in a research paper, you are creating an argument, staking out and defending a position on your topic. So what's next? Try taking your idea and putting it into a single topic sentence. For ideas to help you, Google or other search engines can be a great source. Search engines, as we'll talk about more in subsequent modules, have limited use as sources for academic writing like this, but they're a great source of ideas and a good place to start. For example, let's take a quick look around Google for cyberbullying and social media. Well, looky here. Seems cyberbullying in social media has caused suicides. That's some serious stuff. What's being done about this? What can be done? What should be done? Wait. Do you feel the topic sense coming in here? Maybe something like, what steps are being taken to prevent cyberbullying in social media? Dang, good. Okay, here's what we've got covered so far. You understand your research assignment, what's expected of you, and how much time you have to do it. You've kicked around some ideas and boiled it all down to a topic, sentence, or question for which you'll develop an argument that will be your paper. You need to go and get 2 credible sources you will use to support your argument. In our next module, you'll learn about the open and closed web and how to use library resources to get the best sources for your paper. Oh, and those citation styles your professor is requiring? Don't worry about that just yet.
Okay, now I would like you to do one important thing. Look at your smartphone, get online to our website here, to week number 4. Right here, get into public online discussion forum. Okay? I'm going to create a topic for each one of you to do some response, and then I'm going to guide you into understanding what this video is all about. The idea is very simple. I would like you to create a topic sentence of your journal topic, okay, for the whole class reference. What you need to write is very simple. You come back to this important theme that I've just created for you. You click on this link, okay, which is called sharing your journal topic for learning contract number 1. When you are here, click on the reply button, okay? When you click on the reply button, you just need to type one sentence, which represents the journal topic of your choice. Hopefully you've already made a choice. And then at the end of writing this sentence, that's it. Okay, and we're going to look at as many topic sentences as we could gather within this class. Oh, one thing I want to remind you, because you have a learning partner, right? So do not assume both you and your learning partner could take the same topic. It should be your topic and your learning partner's topic must be different. This will avoid a lot of the complicated discussions, details. Whose topic is this, all right? So make sure now you spend about 5 minutes time writing a topic sentence, which is basically your journal topic for learning contract number 1. At the end of your writing, I'm going to walk you through what you should have done today. All right? With your mobile devices, okay, please go ahead and type up your topic sentence by clicking reply to my invitations here, share your journal topic here by creating your topic sentence. You heard from the video. Now the way to start your research assignment is to brainstorm, okay? And after you've done some brainstorming to identify a topic, you need to give it some more thought by writing your topic sentence. And so this is very important to start your effort to complete the work. All right, so 5 minutes. We're going to stop at 10:30, 10:40, all right? In the meantime, I'm going to take attendance for today, all right? Koi, thank you. Anson is not here. Tracy, thank you. Alfonso, thank you. Neon, thank you. Franco, thank you. Clears, thank you. Juno is not here. Shadow, thank you. Jury, thank you. Carol Wong, thank you. And then Henry Wong. Henry is not here today, right? Okay. Samko is not here today. Okay. Tina is also not here today. Okay. Marco, thank you. Maggie, thank you. Vincent, thank you. Jeff, thank you. Cherry is here, thank you. White John, not here, okay? Okay, Henry New, thank you. Dong Yin, thank you. Carrier, not here, okay?
Here.
Oh, Carrion is here. Okay, thank you. Carol is not here today, obviously. Okay. Nicholas is not here today. Okay, Gabi is right here, right? So Jose is right here. Tiger is also here. Thank you. Thank you very much. So we have a few students who have not been here ever since the beginning of the Chinese New Year's holiday. All right, anyway. Now let's get back to the forum to see how many discussion spreads do we have. Topic sentence. Oh, good. Look at that. How to evaluate your information. Very good. I mean from the web, right? From the web, right? So, criminologies in intellect, that's a big topic. So, criminology in intellect is a big topic. For example, in the video minutes ago, we introduced the idea of bullying in the cyberspace, and that is very much concerned with criminology in the intellect. The security of client information is applied to the website database. This is a very good topic sentence. Now, when we talk about topic sentence, these are topic, okay? These are topic. And this is an example of closer to topic sentence, okay? Because it's much more specific. It has concerns. You see that? Security of something in a particular situation. And this is just a big topic, all right? This is also a specific items, but general, not specific enough, it's too general. Okay, but anyway, very much, let's continue because we still have some couple of minutes. Now, what about the rest of you? Okay, we thank you, Karen, we thank you, Vincent, we thank you, Clears, and then we still need some more. Each one of you need to contribute to a specific topic sentence. Now remember, this is part of your proposal here, all right? So when I invite you to write the topic sentence, basically like your personalized questions in the proposal, okay? How do you turn this into a personalized question? And that is something you need to put a little bit more thought into it, because we invite you to tell us what you want to do in the proposal. And one important part of the proposal is your personalized questions. Well, that could be developed directly from your topic sentence. Okay, let's wait. Carry on. Yes, we got some more. So, the relationship between intellect and our life. Now again, this is a topic. Not up to the topic sentence yet, but it's very good. It's a very good direction, okay? But how many of those topics are very much information security and privacy related? We want some more, which is very much relevant in this course, okay? How much have you learned about information security? And how much have you learned about privacy issues online, okay? So you might want to contribute collectively. And this is the way, when you see the suggestions from your fellow students, it could stimulate how you think along. And we need to give you some more time to think along. The purpose of inviting you to produce the artifacts for the first learning contract is to make sure you spend time to think about what you want to do, okay? Once you got your decisions made, explore if what you want to do is just enough for you to spend your time. You cannot spend 3 months' time doing this big topic, okay? Not even 3 weeks, not even 3 days before the deadline, okay? So you might want to be very much precise, okay, up to the point, manageable, all right? So you need to learn how to choose a topic. And of course, you must choose a topic that is of your own interest. Wow, we got some more. Now let's take a look at that. That is from Alfonso. How does the digital divide influence our society? Excellent. Wow, very specific. Okay, it's a question, it has a context, it's related to what you study, and it has a potential to touch a lot of other things. All right, that's pretty good. Okay, that's for those who have not given your ideas, continue to do that. That's very important. I remember the proposal includes a number of things. Oh, okay, I promise that I'll give you a reminder by the end of the day. I'm going to write each one a reminder, which will tell you what is in the proposal, all right? The rest, I think, I emphasize very much that you need to spend time thinking about what you need to do before you jump into producing anything, okay? You're not wasting your time by doing this. You're actually helping yourself to pick up what you have done, what you have learned, and express it through your submissions. As part of the work, you want people to recognize you with your efforts, all right? And of course, I also want to see how many of you have already signed up for your presentations. Yeah. So I'm going to come back here. Yes, so far, 8 students have signed for your presentations. Now, when you sign for your presentation, you're telling me which day you want to do it. If you do not sign up, you're just telling me, I have the liberty to pick you to do the presentations next week. So it's much more important that you take the initiative to tell people when you want to do it. Okay, let's take a look at further. Oh, good. Let's see. Franco says, how to prevent intellect scam and crime. Now that is a very good term, scam. I love scammer. One of the easy scam that we all might fall into is looking for a job, okay? Particularly a student looking for a summer job, and for those graduates looking for a relatively desirable job. And you need to fill up some details online, and often enough, the easiest thing that the hackers could do is to pick those personal details from you and use it as the basis to scam other people. And so you need to be very careful about this kind of scamming, all right? Scamming activities are those you need to be sensitive enough to pick out. Just like news documentary from day #1. If you have not watched it, you can always go back to the website and watch it. And you just pick up a phone call, and then they just telling you that something that is quite reasonable, and they're asking for something you do not believe is sensitive enough, and that it's the killer. All right. So, incidentally, that is exactly what social engineering is all about. All right. Okay, let's go on to see a little bit more. Okay, we need to give you some more time. Okay. Becky, have you submitted your idea? Jerry, have you submitted your idea? Waiting for the two of you, okay? Make sure you submit something, all right? Any other bodies who would like to give some more ideas? A topic sentence means a relatively complete statement of what you want to do, okay? It contains some specific, but also have a lot of room for people to think about what you want to do. All right? So you have to do something like this. You spend time to think together. This is called think along exercise. And of course, in a class like this, I need to scaffold a lot of this activity for you. That's why we need to give you some stimulus video. All right, so let's see what else. Okay, good. Let's take a look at that from Garbage. Social media versus no social media. That is a very interesting comparison. Today's work, we have social media. That means a media which is accessible to a large number of people. In the past, radio, okay, but it's often one way and then recorded. And today, social media is very much interactive. So the next question is, how does social media affect our everyday living? That's a very good question, okay? I cannot live without Facebook today. I cannot live without my WhatsApp because people will hit me and fall. So it had a lot of effect in my daily living. So yes, a good question. It's very good. Yet, can you, all the other people, make sure, based on this topic, how can you enhance it in the context of information security and privacy? That's very important. All right? Hello? Next time, I'm going to buy some chocolates and sweets from each table. So everybody can enjoy chocolate and sweets. Hi. Have you made your contributions yet? Sure, yes. Okay, thank you. It's very good. You see, it's amazing. Everyone that's eaten the lunch like this, which is very powerful enough, and you don't need any help. Great. Right, okay, let's take a good look at it one more time. Good, very good. Jerry, can we prevent cybercrime by always changing the password? Okay, good question. It's a very interesting question. How often do you change the password of your UN email account? Never. I think never. Why? We never use it sometimes. But have you ever used the Connect service at the university account? So from your UN email account, connect to any other of your preferred email address. So if you want to receive email from your Gmail account, you can set the Connect service and UN email account, and they will redirect all the emails to your Gmail account. Okay? But if you ever experience any tricky behavior that people is going to stick into your email, oh, I do not know if you know that, but maybe you have not experienced that. About this time last year, we discovered that not just one or two students, many students, including staff members at the university account, cannot log into their regular email account with their password. At the very beginning, they believed they got it wrong by keying the wrong password, but it turns out it's not. And then I called the ICTO people. I say, I don't think I plug in a wrong password because it works just minutes ago and then it doesn't work. And then at first, ICTO people did not pay attention to this phenomenon. But during a period of 1 to 2 hours on the same day, they received another phone call like this, and they checked the email server. They discovered one very interesting thing. The University of Macau's email server was being hacked continuously in such a way that, because it kept the server so busy, that all our login requests were kept from outside the door. And this is called denial of service attack. The normal user would not be able to log in because the server is too busy. So instead, the server will say, and they print out a message, your password is wrong. Type in the password, log in again. Many people, including me, type in the password and log in again. And during the time we log in again, the server collects all those information from it. They try to crack our password. And when they succeed to crack the password, something worse is going to happen. Because all around the world, including many governments, agencies in Hong Kong and school, have the company's password cracked, and the people exercising this hacking device introduced the ransomware attack. They will seize all the files in your server, encrypt it. And when you succeed to log in, they will give you a message. All your data is now being kidnapped. Okay? You will not be getting access to those data until you pay the ransom. And when you pay the ransom, we'll give you the key. When you have the key, you can unlock it and get back the data. But many companies around the world in different continents got this attack. And the interesting thing is, many companies in the United States, when they were attacked, and they discovered this message, and they reported to the FBI people told them that we don't have any methods to solve it. Maybe you just pay the ransom to get back the data. And so it becomes an international threat to all the people using computer. And so they stack up every message, including now the university account, we stack the messages almost every week to review it in order to try and avoid getting into this trap. Okay, so this is the kind of things. Can we prevent cybercrime by always changing the password? Principally, yes, that is the right thing to do. But it may not be effective enough. All right, so wow, that's good. We got Carol's. Carol said the ways to use technical support for teaching to help students gain the knowledge more easily. Okay, that's very good in using learning management system. But the issues are, how could we do it in such a way that the student will become safe, not to be hacked? Okay? So when you're willing to submit personal data to a system, okay, like how do you verify some knowledge when you submit something? Oh, have you heard something called Coursera in the world? Coursera is an agency. Now, they still provide course free of charge on the internet. You can always log in, sign in, and enjoy the knowledge there. But I said, if you want us to give you credentials to certify that you complete this course with a particular grade, definitely you need to pay for it. But we want to ensure you're the person to do the work, so you need to have a very particularly follow the very particular identification process to demonstrate this is who you are. Okay, so the way to use technical support is, say, Coursera. This is online course called a MOOC course, massive online learning courses, something like this. This is a very good topic. A lot of things to think about. Maggie said, in the sharing of our life in social media in crisis of our privacy, it's the sharing of our life in social media in crisis of our privacy. I think, yes, Maggie used the word crisis, all right? That means whenever you ever try to use it, you're subjecting yourself to the crisis of being hacked, and you subject yourself to the crisis of losing your privacy. Now, I use Facebook every day, but one practice that I keep doing is I never respond publicly in Facebook to all the audience, except I use private message. Okay? I seldom keep things there which will allow people to understand more of who you are, except basic information. And Facebook is a channel for me to make sure I'll communicate with my friends, okay, give a good content, but that is on an individual basis. So that is one way that we could practice to make sure the sharings of our life in social media not become a crisis of our own privacy, except for a couple of things, all right? We need to think about information security. So the less we share, the less we need to do it. But under the proper circumstances, for a particular role like a teacher's page, a special page for your teacher to interact with students, that is a different story, all right? So, thank you very much for sharing with us so much of the information here. And you can see that these represents your thinking along with me in this class. And I hope that you understand this is something very useful. Okay? Now, we have a little bit more time, so let's get back to the second episode of today's class. All right? So we are on day number 8. Now that I know what I want, how do I find what I need? Now this is a question. This is a very important guiding question on how do you put into practice what you learn in information literacy. Okay, so let's go.
Hello, and welcome to the Mercy College Library's Information Literacy Module Series. In this module, you will learn the difference between search engines and databases, how to develop a search strategy for your research paper or project, how to access databases using the library website, and how to use database tools to refine and focus your search. Ready? Let's get started. Search engines are open web-based search tools such as Google, Yahoo, or Bing that help you locate information available on the World Wide Web. You're probably very familiar with those. Databases use the internet to search for information too, but use a restricted part of the web to store information that is off limits to search engines like Google. This portion of the web is sometimes referred to as the closed or dark web.
Dark web.
Where search engines troll the free and open web where anyone can post anything. Databases search a much more controlled environment of information that has been checked for validity and reliability, what we call authoritative sources. The authority of the sources you use to support your research paper or project is crucial. If you think of your project or paper as building a house, your sources are its foundation. If your foundation is strong, the house is solid. If your foundation is weak, your house may collapse. Before we jump in on databases, let's do a bit more preparation. Another difference between databases and search engines is how you communicate with them. Where Google can gobble up whole sentences of natural language queries, databases relate better to what we call keywords, the essential terms and what you're searching for. When first dealing with databases, this is maybe the most challenging difference from a search engine like Google. But here's the upside. As you get a handle on databases, you will find that using keywords is one of the tools you can use to get you much more relevant, focused results. Think about it. When was the last time a Google search returned less than a gazillion results? Our natural language Google search on cyberbullying, for example, returned 539,000
Wow.
results.
Can you manage that?
Yeah, that's right. Fast track to information overload and, well, let's just say you've got to get up real early to go through that many results. Let's look at our topic question. What steps are being taken to prevent cyberbullying in social media?
Okay, good topic sentence, right?
All right, let's break this down. Good.
Keywords.
Now let's take these keywords and plug them into a database to see what happens. Let's start with a reference database. If your professor says, no Wikipedia for your research project, not to worry. Your library's got you covered. So let's take a look at Cradle Reference, a good reference database accessible from the library website, which you can reach from the Mercy College homepage, mercy.edu, then mouse over academics, scroll down to libraries, and that will take you to the library homepage. Then scroll down to the research column there at the center. Select Find Articles by Subject. This is a listing that's going to give you all of the databases by subject, your major, and helps you find which databases have strengths in a particular field. It also, off to the left, lists our most popular, our heavy hitters, which includes Cradle Reference, the big reference database. So, let's take a look to see how our keywords may fare in a database like this. So, we click on Advanced Search, which is going to give us a few more options. And we put in cyberbullying up top, because that's our main keyword. Then in an exact phrase, we can enter 2 words or more. And you see there's social media, but also there's social media or social networking, which is actually something that might give us a few more options on the return. So let's go with that, see what happens. Click search, and not an overwhelming number of results, but we can get 9. And as you see there, we have cyberbullying, we have cyber internet offenses, cyber stalking. That looks interesting. And then scrolling back up here, off to the left, just to point out briefly, you'll see how the database tries to focus these articles into a way that makes them easier for you to determine what you want. Let's click on cyberbullying just to see what it gives us there, and you see it gives us a little sort of introduction to the article. If that looks interesting, you can click on the link to give you the complete text. Over on the right side, right here, you'll see a number of little tools that are with every article. It will give you an email option, a PDF option, save option, a share option. Down at the bottom, these are the citation styles that you can choose. You see you have an option of APA, MLA. So Credo will also fix you up that way as well.
You see that?
Has given us a good start. Now let's check out one more database for a wider range of information sources. All right, now let's look at another database, a general purpose database, again accessible through the Mercy College homepage, Mouse for Academics, down to libraries. Then in the center column there, look for the second link to find articles by subject. Then the general listing off to the top left there. You see where we chose Credo last time. Now we're going to look at ProQuest All Collections. This is a database, actually it's 16 databases in one. It can be a nice one-stop shop for your article search. As you see, we have our keywords all laid out there and ready to go. We have cyberbullying up top. We have social media or social networking as we used before. This time we have them placed within quotation marks, which will tell the database only bring back those words exactly as they appear within the quotations. I'm going to click on the full text, which will give us just that, and I'm going to leave everything else off. Click search, let's see what happens. Well, 2,420 results. More than the 9 that Credo gave us, but less than the 569,000 that Google gave us.
You see the difference?
Also, you'll note over here on the right that ProQuest will bring back a number of different types of articles. And you see there the magazines, there are 118 magazines. I think I want to go there. I want to see what we have on these keywords in magazines that ProQuest found for us. So just scrolling down, looking for titles that may be interesting. You see the keywords are highlighted there. Look at number 6. How to stop the bullies. Yes. Click on the title. It will take you to the abstract page. The abstract is a summary of the article, which will be helpful. That looks promising. Then you can kind of scan the article there. You see there's the full text, and you can see where the highlighted keywords show up. If you prefer the PDF version, which will look more like a photocopy of the original, that's also available. And you see it has email, print, and the handy cite option. Click on that, and yes,
That's the way you got the citations.
cite that article in the style of choice. There's APA, there's MLA, whatever you want, you just tell it, it does it. You can also email yourself the article, which also offers you the opportunity to include at the bottom the citation in any particular style that you want. So, ProQuest will do this with every article. It's a very useful, very user-friendly database, and along with Credo, it's maybe all you need for your project.
We got this database in our University of South Library.
If you find you need more help, check the supplementary sources available in Blackboard or ask a Mercy College.
So you see that major lessons you need to learn from this 2 important episodes today is because when you produce the proposals for your first learning contracts artifact number 1, you need to include 3 relevant references to support the topic of your investigations. And in the episodes here, and also including the 2 more we did on last Tuesday, or this past Tuesday, is basically a way for you to learn how to discover your 3 relevant references, or more than 3. And you can see that when you use the search engines, which is for the open web, You have more items than you can handle. 500,000 something. How can you manage it? And then if you go to the dark web, which are mainly databases in the University of Macau Library or other libraries, you discover that the entries, the keyword you enter will return a smaller number of results, much more pinpointed and updated according to the annual renewal process. And there you can find a lot of good tools, including the citation format for the particular reference. And you can email it to yourself, you can print this out. So try this out at the University of Macau Library. Go to resources, go to databases, use Congress, okay, to discover more about your topic of interest based on your choice of which reading list out of the first 4, which questions from that reading list, and of course, if you're smart enough, the information, the resources underneath each question are already good sources. So I think I'm going to stop here today, and I'm looking forward to receiving your submissions by the end of this weekend. And I'm also looking forward to your presentations per student next week, 5 minutes each. Sign up for your presentations. Not, I'm going to give you a tag, and you need to do it. But be sure you come here on time, because we do not have much time left. Okay, we budget 14 students per class, 28 for the two classes, so 5 minutes each, 70 minutes already out of the 75. So having said that, have a very good weekend and enjoy yourself. Make sure you participate in the peer online discussion forums, and I highly recommend you to do it. Now, so far, not many students have come up here to do your discussions here. You need to do it, okay? You need to come to your peer name, engage a learning partner to do the discussions so as to copy those important discussion details and put it in a Microsoft Word. Now, one typical mistake student committed, they forgot to do this, and they submit the discussion details in the form of a written report. No. You do the discussions here, you copy and paste the same into your Microsoft Word documents. All right? So, any other questions? We still have 7 minutes left. 7 minutes left. Any questions on that? Make sure you come back to this peer online discussion forum. Prepare to conduct your discussions. Okay? For each particular peer, I should be able to see at least 2 threads, one from you, the other from your learning partner, and under your thread, different discussions details. Under your partner's thread, different discussions details. All right? So very, very important for you to get started. All right? This is not a typical difficult exercise, but you need to get started using the environment to complete your discussions. All right? I will be here to answer your question. You can raise your hand. If not, that needs to stop my video first. That's it for today's CISG113, Section 1, Information Security and Privacy, update number 8. All right?